Crude, you're sitting down an office chair with wheels. One of those gray ones, cheap, that squeaks whenever you shift. 92nd floor, North Tower. You don't think about it, nobody does. You're thinking about coffee that's gone cold. An email you haven't answered. The fact that it's 8:46 in the morning on a Tuesday in September and you'd rather be anywhere else. September 11th, 2001. You don't know that yet. Pretty. You don't know that in exactly 11 minutes, everything you know is going to stop existing. That this gray chair with wheels is the last thing you'll ever sit in. That this cold coffee is the last thing you won't drink. The office smells like old carpet and printer toner. There's a fake plant on the receptionist's desk. Someone stuck a yellow sticky note on the monitor that says "Call Karen." The central air conditioning hums that white noise you've stopped noticing. Are the sounds of normalcy. These are the sounds of a world that's going to disappear in 10 minutes and 47 seconds. You work for Marsh & McLennan Companies. Floors 93 to 100, 1,670 employees in this block. Most have already arrived. Some are still in the elevator. Some are in the lobby buying coffee. They got lucky. They don't know it yet, but they did. You didn't. American Airlines Flight 11 is 132 kilometers away, flying at 490 kilometers per hour. 5 hijackers in control. 92 people on board who are already dead and don't know it. Pilot John Aganowski tried hitting the emergency button twice. Nobody heard. Nobody was going to hear. You grab your coffee. It's cold. You make a face. Colleague in the cubicle next to you asks if you saw the game last night. You didn't. Cord. You were watching something on television with your wife. You can't remember what. You're never going to remember. She'll spend the rest of her life trying to remember for you. 8:47, 112 kilometers away. The plane is descending. Mohammed Atta has his hands on the controls. He's 33 years old. He's been in the United States for more than 2 years planning this moment. He learned to fly in Florida. He never learned how to land. He didn't need to. You open the email, there's a message from your boss asking for the budget spreadsheet by noon. You sigh, you click reply. You start typing. Your fingers hit the keyboard in that automatic rhythm you've developed over 15 years of office work. You type the word "here," you're never going to finish that sentence. 8:48. The sky is blue, absurdly blue. People who survived that day always mention this. The sky was perfect. Not a single cloud. Visibility unlimited. It was the kind of September morning that makes you think the world is a beautiful place. The captain of Flight 11 could see all of Manhattan through the windshield. So could the hijackers. On your desk, there's a photo of your daughter. She's 7 years old. It was taken at her birthday party in June. She's smiling with frosting on her nose. You look at this photo at least 3 times a day. You don't know it, but this photo will be found by a firefighter 16 days later, covered in gray dust 800 meters from where you're sitting right now. 8:49, 64 kilometers away. Flight 11 is over New Jersey now. The speed is increasing, 520 kilometers per hour. The plane is carrying 35,000 liters of fuel, jet fuel. That much fuel at that speed creates a fireball with a temperature over 1,000 degrees Celsius. Aluminum melts at 660. Steel starts to lose structural strength at 593. The building you're sitting in is made of steel. 8:50, 40 kilometers away. You stand up to go to the bathroom. You push your chair back. You take 5 steps. You stop. Your colleague called you back. She wants to show you something on her computer. You go back, purr. Those 5 steps you didn't take might have been the difference between being in the hallway or at your desk when it happened. You'll never know. 8:51, 27 kilometers away. The passengers on Flight 11 are silent now. Betty Ong, a flight attendant, has been on the phone with American Airlines dispatch for 25 minutes. She's calm. Her voice isn't shaking. She's describing what happened in the cabin. The knives, the pepper spray, 2 flight attendants, stabbed. Just says, I think we're being hijacked. She's right. She's also wrong. It's not just a hijacking. 8:53, 13 kilometers away. You're back at your desk. Your boss's email is still open. The cursor blinks. The budget spreadsheet needs to be sent by noon. You're not going to send any spreadsheet. Nobody on this floor is going to send anything. Nobody on this floor is going to have lunch. Nobody on this floor is going to walk out the door. 8:55, 6 kilometers away. The plane is visible now. If you looked out the window, that big one facing north that looks out at the Hudson River, you'd see a silver dot in the blue sky. You don't look, you're typing. The dot is getting bigger. It's getting faster. 14 seconds before 9. Someone on the 88th floor looks out the window. The human brain takes half a second to process what your eyes see. Another half second to understand that something isn't right. Another half second for your body to react. The plane is 2 kilometers away. At 570 kilometers per hour, 2 kilometers takes 12.5 seconds. 12 seconds between seeing and dying. 8:46 and 10 seconds, the plane is 1 kilometer away. The sound arrives before the impact. A roar, not a sound you recognize. Doesn't sound like a plane, doesn't sound like thunder. It's deeper, more visceral, caded. It's the sound of something enormous tearing through the air at a speed that shouldn't exist at this altitude. You look up, your colleague looks up, everyone looks up. 8:46 and 38 seconds. American Airlines Flight 11 strikes the north face of the North Tower between floors 93 and 99. The impact speed is 790 kilometers per hour. The Boeing 767 fuselage is 38 meters long. At this speed, the entire plane passes through the facade in less than 1 second. Less than 1 second, you're on 92. 1 floor below the point of impact. The first thing you feel isn't the sound, it's the vibration. The floor shakes like an earthquake. Your coffee mug falls off the desk. The computer monitor sways. The ceiling drops plaster tiles that fall like white confetti. Then comes the sound. A boom so deep you feel it in your bones, in your teeth, in your chest. Like the entire building just coughed. Then comes the heat. 35,000 liters of jet fuel turn into a fireball that descends down the elevator shafts like a dragon's tongue. The fire travels downward. It travels fast. The temperature at the impact point exceeds 1,000 degrees. On your floor, the ceiling starts to melt. The air gets hot. Not summer hot. Oven hot. The kind of hot that shouldn't exist inside an office. The smoke arrives next. Black, dense. It doesn't rise. It falls. It fills the space between the ceiling and your head like liquid blanket. You cough. Everyone coughs. The air that smelled like carpet and toner now smells like jet fuel. Melting plastic, hot concrete, and something you don't want to identify. The power cuts out. The monitors go black. The lights go out. The only brightness comes from the windows and the fire. The fire is above you. You know this because the ceiling is hot. You touch it and burn. The fire is below you too. The elevators are burning. The stairwells, you need the stairwells. The North Tower has 3 stairwells on the 92nd floor. You have access to stairs A, B, and C. You run to stair A, debris, blocked. Stair B, smoke so thick you can't see your own hand. Stair C, the door is warped from the heat. It won't open. Nobody on the 92nd floor or above is getting down any stairwell. 1,355 people above the impact point. No stairwells available. No way out. You go back to the office. Some people are breaking windows with chairs. Fresh air rushes in for a second and then gets sucked toward the fire. The North Tower windows are 60 centimeters wide. Barely fits one person. Some people try anyway. 208 people jump or fall from the towers that day, more than 1 per minute for 102 minutes. The firefighters on the ground hear the impacts. They'll describe the sound like explosions. They weren't explosions. Grab your cell phone, you call home. The signal is congested. You try again. Again. On the third try, the call connects. Your wife answers. She's already watching television. She already knows. She asks what floor you're on. You say 92. She doesn't say anything for 4 seconds. Those 4 seconds of silence say everything she can't say. You hear her breathing. She hears you coughing. You tell her you love her. You tell her you love your daughter. You ask her to tell your daughter that daddy loves her. The call drops. You try again. It doesn't connect. The ceiling is giving way. The heat is unbearable. The smoke is at your waist. Now you crouch down. The air near the floor is still breathable. For now, 9:59, 1 hour and 13 minutes after the impact. You hear something that shouldn't exist. A metal grown deep, long, like a ship that's sinking. But it's not a ship. It's steel. Steel that's lost 50% of its structural strength because it's been above 500 degrees for over an hour. The core columns are failing. One by one, the weight of the floors above is redistributing. The engineering that kept this building standing for 28 years is coming apart. 10:28, the groan becomes a roar. The ceiling above you starts to descend. Not fast, not all at once. It bends, it ripples. It comes down like a wave in slow motion. The North Tower collapses from top to bottom, floor after floor. Each floor crashes onto the one below. The total collapse takes 11 seconds. 110 floors in 11 seconds. 500,000 tons of steel, concrete, and glass. And 1,355 people who were above the 93rd floor. People who called home. People who tried the stairwells. People who broke windows. People who prayed. People who were silent. Playing a building you were sitting in at 8:46 with your cold coffee and your unanswered email is now a pile of rubble 7 floors high. Firefighters will take 8 months to clear the site. They'll find the photo of your daughter, the one with frosting on her nose. They won't find you. In total, 2,977 people died that day. 412 of them were rescue workers. The North Tower killed 1,462 people. Nobody above the impact point survived. Nobody. 1,355 people with no stairwells. No way out, no rescue coming. The helicopter on the roof wasn't an option. The smoke was too thick. The only thing these people had was a telephone and a window. The last call recorded from the 92nd floor was made at 10:24, 4 minutes before the collapse. The person said, "There's no air," then hung up. Nobody knows who it was. The call lasted 9 seconds. Cold care with wheels. Your cold coffee, your unanswered email, the photo of your daughter with frosting on her nose. All of it existed. All of it was real. And all of it disappeared in 11 seconds on a Tuesday in September when the sky was absurdly blue and you just wanted to send a spreadsheet by noon. If this video puts you inside a moment you never want to forget, subscribe. We rebuild history the way it happened. No filter, no censorship, just the truth from the inside.